there, McGray, and welcome back to Savannah's Crystal Reiki Healing. I'm Erin, and I've got two forms of readings for you today. I've got Numerology to Tarot, along the Journey of the Fool. The Journey of the Fool is we're all fools in our own lives, reaching and grasping as we do, as we all do. We're all guilty of this. So, as we do all that, where are we at along this journey? Because we're all fools in our own lives to some degree or another. Just don't tell the ego I told you that. It's quite fragile, isn't it? And then for the second reading, I have basic 3-card draw. A past, present, future, or as I like to call it, what was, what is, and the possibility of what will be. All of this is not fortune telling to me. All of this is a psychological check-in. Just a psychological check-in to help us understand why that path that we chose to walk down. So, be brave enough to peer down into the depths along with me as we look into our own shadows to see what dwells down there. So, have you had your food? Have you had your water today? And are you taking care of yourself? Because what I want for you to understand and I want for you to remember is that you are just as important as everyone else around you. You're just as worthy as everyone else. So, be brave enough to see yourself as equally as worthy of having that water because you're thirsty, having that quick bite of food in you because you're a wee peckish. And take care of yourself today because you're worth it. Or if you actually want a decent reason, it's because Mummy told you so. Oh, and apparently, as for all the legals, when it comes to this kind of content, it's all for entertainment only. If this reading lands on your homepage or your For You page, depending on your platform, there might be something in here for you. So let's go ahead and examine what the cards have in store for us today and learn the lessons of what motivates us today. Along the Journey of the Fool in the Numerology to Tarot, I have this breakdown of today's date, the 30th of December, 2024. Blimey, where has this year gone? All of these numbers come down to 5. For those of us who know the major arcana of the tarot, we have the Hierophant. The Hierophant. The Hierophant is an academic scholar, is a master of their tradition. They might be an instructor, a scholar, a researcher, a scientist, or a spiritual leader. Let's say in the Masonic temple or some of these secret schools. They know their craft. They know their tradition. They uphold it because they embody all of it. They're priestly in their own right, but they're also humble in their own right. They know their tradition like the back of their hand. They hold their mysteries quite well, and they work in harmony of it. It is a wee bit more rigid. It is a wee bit more structured than what you'd find in the High Priestess. The Hierophant is the masculine equivalent, a wee bit more rigid, a wee bit more structured in ceremony, tradition, and ritual, but equally as necessary, as all things need to be in harmony. So, what about today's tradition? What about today's academia? Do we need to adhere to or pay attention to? There is something in that study, in that tradition, that we need to focus on today. So let's figure out what that is in our 3-card draw. Coming from the position of what was. We have the King of Cups reversed. Cups. I want you to think about your emotions real quick. You probably heard the saying emotional cup. Well, when it comes to the suit of cups in the tarot, that's exactly what we're talking about. The king in the minor arcana talks about the end of a journey or the end of a cycle where we've gone through the paces, we've gone through our journey. We come out of it changed. We come out of it different. We come out of it learning a thing or two and putting it into action. We're just more. And we're either that amazing leader or we're doing everything as a ruler. In which case, as the King of Cups reversed, you're a ruler. The difference between a ruler and a king is, a leader, is a leader will lead you, will take you into consideration and to help inspire you to do everything that you need to do with compassion and wisdom and justice, using their head equally with their heart. You're a ruler, which means you just want everyone to go off and you want to do those things. You are definitely efficient at what you do. You're more than enough. You're definitely qualified. But your emotional cup runneth dry. You're cold. You're bitter about this. You're efficient. You get the job done with ease. Always, always. But you're cold. You're emotionless. You're bitter. When it comes to emotions, when it comes to emotional intelligence, that's one area where you are lacking. Your qualifications lack when it comes to emotional intelligence, so you are not enough there. Or, as I like to put it when I come across this type of person, if I wanted a robot, I would have asked for a robot. Right here, right now, and what is, we have the Six of Swords reversed. Again, because this is the second time in a row that I've pulled this card in the present position in a read, particularly the Diablo read. So, swords, our ability to go out there and get things accomplished. Most of the time, when the Six of Swords is right side up, it suggests that, you're going out there, you're doing all the things that you want to do, because in this craft that you see here, all the swords have fallen out but left holes, and the boat is beginning to sink. So there's a time limit. You need to get things moving, you need to get things in motion, and time is of the essence. But reversed, well, the boat has capsized. The boat has capsized and you're stuck. You're stagnant. You're not moving. You're delaying what's going on. You're dawdling. You're procrastinating. And you're just putting all of this off. The bad news about doing all that is you're not making the situation any better. In fact, it's getting worse. Are you willing to accept the responsibility of, because of your dawdling and procrastinating, you created a far worse situation than it needed to be? Are you willing to take responsibility for that, for yourself, along with everyone else who is going to be affected by all of this? Are you? The possibility of what will be, or what may be, because nothing is ever set in stone. The possibility of what may be is the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles simply says you're enjoying the fruits of your labor and hard work. You did what you needed to do. You put in the work. You expect to reap the rewards of your hard work. But I have a few questions for you here. How did we go from delaying the inevitable in where we're at right now to enjoying the fruits of your labor and and a very hard harvest? What happened? What fire needed to be lit under your arse in order for this one to happen? And then the extra question is, did you learn a thing or two having to have this fire lit under you? Or did all this action get left unchecked? That's what I would like to know with you today. Did you learn anything? And what was needed to push you in that direction? Bringing it all back to the journey of the fool, the Hierophant. You do need to pay attention to what happened. You do need to pay attention to the type of fire that was lit under your earth, along with everything else thereof. You need to pay attention. Because within that tradition, within the rituals, within the ceremony, within the academia, within the school that you happen to find yourself in, the answer, the lesson that you needed to learn in the first place in order to survive all of this is right there. You just need to go back to basics. You need to go back to the research. Start at the beginning again. What did you miss? So that you can figure out what you need to learn about what just happened. Let's try something just a wee bit new and different. Let's add an additional card onto this. A completely different deck. It's not even tarot. Let's go ahead and add on a chakra love thing. Let's end this on a good note. Honestly, it's more than most of us deserve, but here we go. What I want you to focus on is, out of chaos comes creation. The world is chaos, and sometimes we don't want to move forward. In fact, we're not moving forward. Time is a factor here. Time to procrastinate. Time to learn a lesson or two. Time to move forward without you. Or with you. Depending on what you want to do. Regardless of what you want to do. It's chaos. It's still a form of chaos. It's up to you whether or not you want that chaos to be controlled. Or untempered and feral. It's all up to you, and it always will be, and always has been. The question is, are you going to allow chaos to become creation? Or whether or not you're just going to let chaos remain chaos? So that was our reading for today. All of this was for entertainment purposes only. If any of this resonates with you, then perhaps there is something here for you. And I invite you to re-watch this. I will also have short snippets of this entire reading on all the different platforms. You can find them there. If you do like this type of read, if you do like this type of content, go ahead and hit all the buttons down below. Go ahead and like this video if any of this resonated with you. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel because I do this fairly frequently. And go ahead and share this to all of your friends or family because perhaps this message would resonate with them too. They might get something out of this message as well. If the message itself is not what they need to hear, then perhaps the hope at the end of the reading is what they need to hear. Go ahead and, if you're interested, and if you would kindly donate a few dollars to my personal Venmo to help buy me a cuppa. Everything that I do is run off of caffeine, and a few bucks will go a long way to help create more of this type of content, or more blogs and newsletters, or more things on Substack, Blue Sky, dare I say Facebook, and but certainly here on YouTube. So a couple of bucks will go a long way. Plus, though I may be a millennial, I was raised on Gen X mentalities. Also, everything that I do here, not just the readings, but the shamanic healing, the aura cleansings, the chakra work, the Reiki, I do online equally as I do in person. My office hours here in Santa Maria, California are Monday through Wednesday, with the exception of this week because New Year's. 11 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Online hours, again, with the exception of this week because it is the New Year's. Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. You get a whole extra hour. You get a whole extra day. So, go ahead and use that email down there. And if you're interested in booking an appointment, go ahead and email me. My email is always open. I check it fairly frequently. If you're interested in figuring out what else I can do, looking at a full catalog of what I do, or what my business partner, sister entities, and just everyone that I do work with is all about, go ahead and click on all of the website links that I've got going on down there. My personal website, I have a section for updates to events, schedules, and services that I update fairly frequently. It also has a full catalog of everything that I do. The other link is my sister business that I work with. She's a yoga instructor, but she also does tarot. And unlike me, fortunately, she does it for more fortune telling and divination purposes as opposed to psychology. So if you're interested in what she does, go ahead and click on that link below. And finally, if I could interest you in becoming a patron on Patreon, where you would not just become a passive observer on everything that I do in the behind the scenes content, but become part of the conversation, become part of the creative process, and have your name credited in all the things that I do. It's only a few dollars a month, no more. Become a patron and become part of the conversation and the creative process today. And finally, I certainly hope you did enjoy this content. I do my daily investigations every day that I'm here at the office. Or if I'm not at the office, but it is an office hour type of day, I will go ahead and upload that via text and pictures on my Patreon specifically. So I do holiday reads too. I just don't do it for YouTube. Head on over to my Patreon and you'll get it there. But with all that being said, all this was for entertainment purposes, and I will now see you all down the line.